So before we begin, let me tell you, most people associate pasta with Italy when in reality, pasta originates from China. It was Marco Polo who brought it to Italy somewhere in the 12th century, and shortly thereafter, we're talking just the 13th century, it arrived here in Spain. Anyways, as you can imagine, pasta is a big deal here in Spain, just most folks outside of Spain don't know that. So today I'm going to show you how to make a Spanish pasta that is absolutely delicious. We're talking macarrones a la madrileña. This dish has so many great flavors, like seriously, a huge punch of goodness. It's very easy to make, and it comes together in just 30 minutes, folks. This is the perfect pasta dish for any occasion, and with one taste, you're gonna find out how underrated Spanish pasta dishes are. Let's begin by filling a stock pot with some cold water. You wanna go to a little over the halfway point. We'll season it generously with sea salt, and heat it with a medium-high heat. While our water's heating up, let's get our ingredients ready. I'm gonna grab between 6 to 8 fresh tomatoes, cut each one in half, and then finely grate them. We wanna end up with about 2 cups of finely grated tomato, which is 450 grams. Now to make this recipe, you can totally skip this step and use canned tomato sauce, which is what the British call passata, but by using fresh tomatoes, it really gives this pasta dish an incredible depth of flavors. For the next ingredient, I'm gonna roughly dice half of an onion, roughly mince 4 cloves of garlic, grab a handful of fresh parsley and finely chop it, and for the final ingredient to prepare, I'm gonna cut 2 sausages, each one into rounds that are a little over 1/4 inch thick, which is 3/4 of a centimeter. Now the sausages I'm using to make this recipe are Beyond sausages. However, you can use whatever sausage you like, from regular sausage, smoked sausage, or even spicy sausage. For the next step, I'm gonna heat a fry pan with a medium heat and add in 2 tablespoons, which is 30 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil. Now the olive oil I'm using to make this recipe is from Apollo. This is their Miller's favorite organic extra virgin olive oil. This is truly one of my personal favorite olive oils. It has such an incredible depth of flavors, and it works perfect with this pasta dish. You'll find a link where you can get it in the description box below. After heating the olive oil for 2 minutes on a medium heat, I'm gonna add in the pieces of sausage into the pan. And start mixing the sausage around with that olive oil. You don't have to mix this continuously. You just get in there every 45 seconds to 1 minute, just to ensure that each piece of sausage is evenly sauteed. After about 4 to 5 minutes and the pieces of sausage are lightly sauteed, you don't want to brown them too much. I'm going to start removing them from the pan, transferring them into a dish, and then setting them aside. Now using the same pan with the same heat, I'm gonna add in the diced onion and start mixing the onion around with that olive oil. At this point, since the pan is so hot, I'm gonna mix this continuously. That way the onion doesn't burn and it all evenly sautés. After about 3 minutes, you can see that the onion is developing a beautiful golden fried color. I'm gonna add in the minced garlic and continue to mix these ingredients around with that olive oil. We're only gonna go between 25 to 30 seconds here. You don't wanna overcook the garlic. You just want it to be nice and aromatic. Then we'll add in a generous half teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika. This is 1.30 grams. And we'll give this a quick mix. That way the paprika is coating the garlic and onion. And like I always tell you, you want to mix this quickly. That way the paprika doesn't get a bitter flavor. Then we'll add in our 2 cups of finely grated tomato. Once again, this is 450 grams. We'll also add in the pieces of sausage that we cooked earlier. About 2 tablespoons of the finely chopped parsley, which is 7.60 grams. And season everything with sea salt, a generous portion of freshly cracked black pepper, and a pinch of white sugar to cut the acid from the tomatoes. And we'll give this one final mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. While our sauce is simmering, let's move back to the stock pot. As you can see, the water's now at a full boil, so we're ready to cook our pasta. I'm gonna measure out 2 cups of penne pasta. This is about 220 grams. Add the pasta into the stock pot. And we're gonna cook the pasta until it's perfectly cooked al dente. In my case, it's exactly 11 minutes. Just check the package instructions in your pasta. But let me tell you, whatever you do, do not overcook it, because there's nothing worse than overcooked pasta. Once the pasta's perfectly cooked al dente, I'm gonna remove the stock pot from the heat, drain it into a colander, and shake off any of the excess water. Now let's move back to our tomato sauce. As you can see, it's really thickened up and all these flavors have came together. I'm gonna turn off the heat in the pan, add in our cooked penne pasta, and we're gonna gently mix this together until each piece of penne pasta is coated in this beautiful tomato sauce. Then I'm going to transfer some of the pasta into a serving dish. Top it off with some finely grated manchego cheese. The one that I'm using has been aged for 6 months. And we'll sprinkle it with some freshly chopped parsley. Our macarrones a la Madrileña are done. A beautiful Spanish tomato sausage pasta. So easy to put together. Incredible aromas coming out of it. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see how this turned out. Here we go. Bravo, it is so good. Most importantly, the pasta's cooked al dente. In my opinion, there's nothing worse than overcooked pasta. And as for the flavors, that sweet smoked Spanish paprika, the fresh tomatoes, the sausage, and that little kiss of manchego cheese at the end, it's an explosion of so much goodness. You saw this, a beautiful pasta dish from Madrid, España. Try it at home. You're not gonna believe how good this is. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Araminda Garimea, Robert Manahan, and Tamara Johnson. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. It's thanks to you and the rest of my patrons why Spain on a Fork continues to move forward. If you're not a patron, consider becoming one. It really helps me with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my patron link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.